Hey guys, do you guys ever have trouble hitting your volleys, making them, they go in the net, they go too long? Guys, if you guys stay tuned for this whole video, we will go over all the corrections that you can make to make sure that you have a consistent volley. So let's get started. So the number one thing that all players do is that they hit their volley in the net. And this is the number one problem I see most of my clients have, right? It's because if your volley ever goes into the net, there's two things, right? A, watch this, right? So my hands are up, and this is what people do, right? They just go with their racket, right? So they have a forehand volley. They go like this. I'm going to get a ball real quick. So forehand volley, they go, and it goes in the net. Once again, they have a forehand volley. What is the person not doing? They're not stepping, right? You guys always have to make sure that you step to your volley. Guys, if you guys hit that volley in the net 8 times out of 10, check your feet. Did you step? Again, if you guys are hitting a forehand volley, if you're a right-handed player, you guys want to be stepping with the left foot. If you're a left-handed player, you guys want to be stepping with the right foot. You guys need to step, right? So in order to get that ball over net, you need to step forward and then volley. Once again, you need to step forward and then volley. So if you guys are stepping and the ball is still going into the net, right? I said 8 times out of 10. The other 2 times, it's probably because you're dropping your racket. With the volley, you always want to make sure that you are freezing at contact. What many players go wrong is when they make contact with the volley, they drop their racket face, right? It's flimsy, it's moving. When you guys make contact with that volley, you guys got to make sure that the racket is frozen after contact. You see how my racket stays here, right? It's firm. It's not dropping, it's not moving over here, over there. I make contact with the volley and I keep it firm. And guys, I'm demonstrating the forehand volley, but it's the same thing for the backhand volley. So when I make contact with this backhand volley, here, my racket is firm, it's not dropping. When people drop the racket head, they keep the racket head loose, that's when their volleys become inconsistent and for the most part go into the net. So if you guys are hitting the ball into the net, A, are you guys stepping? And B, is your racket freezing after contact, or is your racket face dropping or moving, right? You guys want to keep it firm. Now, if your volleys are going long, right? You guys have to make sure if your volleys are going long, here's the number one way to stop your volleys from going long, right? So you can't get it in, right? It's A, because you're swinging. What so many people do is that they swing with their volley too much. You guys have to realize when you're making contact with the volley, again, you want to keep it firm. So you not only want to not drop the racket, but you want to make sure that you do not swing. So many players for volleys, they have a sitter, more balls with no pace, right? They see it up in the air and they try to swing at the volley. That's when it's going to go in the net or long as well, because their momentum, right? If you guys want to hit power on your volleys, you guys have to make sure you're stepping with your feet. Once again, by swinging, the ball's going to fly long. So A, check, are you keeping the racket firm or are you swinging at the volley? Then after that, what you guys got to do, right? If your ball is still going long, the number one way that I tell all my students to make sure that that ball goes in every single time when they're hitting the ball long is you guys have to make sure that you're aiming for the service line. By aiming for the service line, it's going to allow me to get that ball in every single time. And guys, for most part, for the high balls, a lot of the high balls sail long, right? So if you guys can aim for the service line on those high balls, you guys will make it every single time. If you guys are on court right now, please pause this video, go hit some volleys and aim for the service line. See how much more consistent you will be. It does wonders. So again, I'm gonna be out on court, I'm volleying forehand and backhand, and I'm just aiming for the service line, all right? So here's another thing, right? So why do people miss their volleys? They miss their volleys, they get too close, right? They can't get to the ball in time. You feel like you don't have that much time, which is true, right? Compared to the forehand and backhand, you guys don't have as much time with the volleys, right? But there are ways to make sure that you prepare and you can get the most amount of time while you're waiting for a volley, right? So where many players go wrong is that they're on their heels. They're like this. They're not, guys, you guys want to make sure that all your weight is on your toes. I like to tell all my students, when you guys are hitting that volley, your heels are never touching the ground unless you're stepping and planting to hit the volley, right? So watch, right? When I'm hitting a volley, when I'm waiting, I'm on my toes. You guys see that? My heels are never touching the ground. What many players do, their heels are glued to the ground, the volley's coming, oh man, it came past me, right? Or, oh, I should have got it. If you're on your toes, you can really pounce to each side, right? That's going to help you get to more balls. The next thing, right? What is the ready position for the volleys? If you guys are feeling like you don't have enough time, check. Where are your hands? Guys, if you guys aren't using this tip, I don't care what other tips you implement. If you guys are not doing this tip and you implement this one tip, you will automatically hit 50% more volleys in. You'll hit 50% better volleys by just doing this one simple, easy thing. What's your ready position for your volley? Your ready position is with the racket up and out in front, right? Up and out in front. It's not down, it's not close to your body, it's up and out in front. Think about it, right? If a ball's coming fast at me and my hands are here, what do I have to do? I have to bring my hands all the way up and then go forward. Or if my hands are in here, I have to bring my hands all the way out and then go forward. Guys, I'm late. The ball's already coming right at me, right? If I have my hands up and out in front, what do I have to do? Just go like this, or just go like this, right? So guys, if you guys have your hands up and out in front every single time, you guys will be able to hit a much more higher quality volley because you're prepared. Think of it like you're going to a meeting, right? With your hands down or your hands inside, it's like you're going to a meeting with no notes. You have all your papers all unorganized, right? Guys, if you have your hands up, you're ready. You have your notes, you know exactly what you're going to say. Prepare for the meeting, prepare for the volley. I'm telling you guys, it's going to help you. So once again, when I'm waiting for the volley, I want to make sure that my hands are up and out in front every single time. They're not in here, all right? So for ready position for the volley, number one, I'm on my toes. My heels are never touching the ground, and my hands are up and out in front so I can pounce on the ball. I'm prepared every single time. Then here's another thing, right? So a lot of people, they have their hands out in front, they're on their toes, but they still have trouble getting to the volley. And I want you guys to take into account for how you're moving to your volley. Guys, when you guys are moving to your volley, you want to be moving in a V. You do not want to be moving side to side. And let me explain, right? So where many players go wrong, say if the camera right now, you guys on the screen right now are hitting me a volley, right? This is where most players go wrong. When they are waiting for a volley, right? If you guys hit me a forehand volley, I'm going to move straight to the side and try to hit the forehand volley. If you guys hit me a backhand volley, right? I'm gonna move straight to the side and hit the volley, right? That is not right. You guys wanna make sure that you're moving in a V. So when my hands are up out in front, if I have a forehand volley, I'm moving on a diagonal to the forehand volley. If I hit a backhand volley, I'm moving on a diagonal to the backhand volley. I'm moving up on a diagonal instead of side to side, right? It takes much more distance and much more time to move side to side. You guys will be able to cover many more balls if you guys can move in a V. You cut the angle off, you A, get to that volley faster, and B, you get that volley more out in front. So if you guys are ever having trouble with, you guys, again, your hands are out in front, you're on your toes, and you want to still be able to get to more volleys, try moving in a V instead of moving side to side. So just to review, guys, if our ball goes in the net, what do you have to do? You guys have to make sure that you step. You have to make sure that you are freezing the racket. If your ball is ever long, you have to make sure that you are not swinging. You have to make sure that you are, what are we doing? Aiming for the service line. Sorry, a lot of things to remember for this video. If you guys are having trouble with movement to your volleys, what do you guys have to make sure? You guys have to make sure that A, you guys are moving in a V, and B, making sure that your heels are never touching the ground unless when you're planting for a volley. Also, again, you guys have to make sure that your hands are up and out in front every single time that you guys are waiting for a volley, right? So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Implement these tips. Again, we went over if it goes long, if it goes in the net, if you're having trouble getting to it. Guys, if you guys have any other problems with your volleys, please let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to either make a video for you or respond in the comments, and we will address those problems. But I hope this video solves all your volley problems. Have a good one, guys, and happy hitting.